apologize that it's going to be a little bit quicker. One thing for sure is from this back center, so I'll go down a little bit so that way you get more of a normal view. And I'll change this to the yellow one so it's a little bit easier to see. Right through here, it drops into that Aztec. Now the way that that I found that you can avoid that is when you are diving out. So I'll go here, so this way you can see it. So this guy, if they're shooting snake way, I was playing more snake on this side, and it was something that I noticed I had to do. If I saw that they were shooting snake, they're probably shooting into that gap. They can shoot for the corner. It's just not going to be as easy. I mean, I don't know that we really, I don't think I got shot diving out to here. I didn't do it a whole bunch, but when I went out there, I think I was okay. But the route that I took, if you take either the deep route, the shallow, or dive straight in, if they are shooting snake way, just dive. It's going to be difficult. I had it where I shot a couple balls over this way. If you want to do that, just have a little bit of pressure on the Dorito side to kind of mess up their shot for someone trying to get into the snake or whatever, by all means. But when I was going in, it was maybe 3 shots. Most of the time, I'm just diving straight in. I might be set up like I'm going to gun, but if they are shooting Dorito way, then as I'm going out and up, I can be shooting into this zone over here, either for the tower or for the can. But that was only if this guy was not looking at me. If they were, then that's when things were not necessarily easy. The other thing, I'm not 4 feet tall. I'm short, but not that short. You can have kind of a safety for the corner over the top right there. If you get low enough, you should be okay. But if they're a little bit tall going out to the corner, they can get shot that way. I'm going to show more the snake side. That's more what I played, but I'll explain stuff Dorito side as well. The other thing was when you are here, if you look at the 4th beam going in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, from the other side. So let's say I'm in that Aztec. If you bounce it off, come on, there we go, right here, it actually can skip into this guy. I would kind of shoot into here and here a little bit, just to kind of put pressure. The other thing is if you stand up over the top, because you have to stand up, you have to go out a little bit to shoot at your mirror. That's you're a big threat for you to get out into the snake. The other thing I did was pop the top real quick and shoot blind over the top of the pin and drop it in right there, and then you can just real quick look, and then if you see the paint drop, you can try to dive across. But if they do have pressure, they put you in. I was usually rolling off and shooting this way, or again trying to bounce it off some of these. But the one that we found was 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I was shooting from here, it's right in that zone, and it bounced inwards a little bit. The other thing for if you're going out to the snake, then you go up, and that way I can explain it a little bit better. Some of the routes that worked. One that worked, that I liked, is just going straight in. The danger zone is this section right here. That's the section that if you're going to get shot, you're going to get shot right about in here. So it's only a couple steps off, but it's from this back center. That's a big threat of yours. Once you're through there, it's not 100% safe, but it gets safer. So if you are going straight in, just know that this is, really dig through here and get in. The other one is if you take the kind of broken arrow where you go out, you're in about that zone and then coming up. So when you do that, you're getting past some of the other stuff, and then you have to stay low. You use this snake 1 to block you out as you dive out and then come up to be a little bit safer. So that's definitely one that you would want to remember there for my snake guys. When I was going in, that was definitely something. Now this is something that happened to me, and I don't want it to happen to you guys. Down the wire, there's a lot of blinds. You just got to be careful with it. So if there's someone down here, I don't like this for protecting my guy down the wire. It's completely blind. I can't stop anything on the inside. It's just not a great spot to be if I'm going to protect someone down the wire. If I want to get protection down the wire, I need to come up to here, and even here isn't my favorite, just because, you know, you can kind of, you see how they can shoot blind from a couple spots. What I liked was, and I'm backing up because I want to show you exactly where I was at. Some guys were actually coming right here and popping the top to shoot a blind real quick down this way. Don't stand over the top for too long, but that was one that they used this top section just as a different way of getting the shot. This section here, try little to snap out of there. That's where you're going to have a higher chance of dying. Where I liked was actually here. So you can get low enough that if they're in that Dorito or that corner, even if they're shooting down the wires as shallow as they want, you're pretty safe. You can actually shoot back. You can stop any sort of movement. I was basically on my elbow just shooting down the wire. It was one that was definitely a good one. Come on, turn. There we go. The other thing was, whoops. If you're needing to do any sort of hold, basically if you lose someone in the snake, coming here and shooting, you see how you have that gap on the Dorito side? That is good. Or coming up to here, you have that gap as well. And you need to have someone shooting cross to protect you. If you have two people in the snake, the heads up attack is really what you want to get to. You want to get to the point that you have someone here, and then you have someone here. The reason why you want someone here is you can have them set up for the trap on the outside. If there's someone that comes around, they can go around and bunker them. Or if they stay low enough, you can actually crawl across to here and play the outside, or take the inside route and go up into their snake. It gets hairy up there, just so you know. Like, you have to trust the guy behind you. One of the bounces that someone did that worked from the this can back here off this pin, when they shot more the top section, it did bounce in and it killed two of our guys. Two separate points. So that one is good. The other one was here. If they are in that 50 Dorito, shoot that top section right there, more near the corner, and it was bouncing, at least on our field, it was bouncing that way. The other one from the snake, a big threat of yours, and we'll go over there so you can see it, because there's a way that you would want to play this. The other threat, obviously you have the back center, can sort of shoot through here, but you can see the threat here is this can shoot this zone right here. Even if you try to stay low, it's sketchy. But if, and I'll go up so this way you can see it, from that snake too, if you shoot, it was the bottom section down here, there was enough that bounced that way that it was able to kind of put that guy in. So you can at least have a good chance of being able to slow them down. When you're in the snake, you really have to read the paint over the top to see if you can go through or not. So as you're crawling up, just try to read the paint as best as you can. There was one that I crawled around, and it was like, it felt like it was right there. At practice, try to see what you can get away with. If you get shot, you get shot. It's not the end of the world. So let's get to some of these audibles. Another one that can work if you can practice this, since you guys have usually a little bit more time than us for one weekend. This gap through here, if you look like you're shooting Dorito away and then pull up and shoot, you can shoot through this gap. So you're giving up this shot because you can't do both. Did you do like a 1-2? Your shot has to be like exactly perfect. I would pick one or the other. But shoot through that gap, you can shoot the snake player. It's just, it's iffy because these guys can shoot straight back at you. Because if you're trying to shoot it here, you see how you're blocked out, so you don't have that shot. But if you stand up over the top, you can shoot that, or if you play the wrap and come around and shoot that. But you're floating here in a zone that there's a couple guys that can shoot back at you. There is a zone here that you can come off and shoot and read the paint coming across to see if you can go underneath it. We didn't really play this can a whole lot, but you can shoot this way to stop the guy from diving or help slow down the attack that way. Oh, my goodness. Or if there's someone that's floating there. But remember, they can do the same shot back at you. So if you're floating here, just know that when you dive across, that back center, that shot comes right over the top here and drops in through here. You have to be low. from this is something that we really liked to that we found that we liked, is right here, and it was a taller guy on the team. And actually, let me, like, for me, I could probably do it, but the guy that was a little bit taller was a little bit better. He was shooting through this zone right here. So if there's someone in that Dorito, they have pressure on the outside. If there's someone trying to crawl up, there is pressure through here. So it's not that they can't come this way and come around, but at least you can see the move. If that happens, what we found that worked really well is this guy at the back center was, shooting Dorito way, like holding in that Dorito 2. The second that we needed to switch, he switches this way, and you can see a little bit of the outside here, but also you can see this. Unless they stay super low, and at least on our field, we had someone crawl it, and I could still see part of him. So just double check it. Everyone's field might be a little bit different. It's maybe where we were at, there might have been like a little hill there or something, but it was pretty flat where we were. But you can see the guy try to crawl around, and I remember it also being here, if I remember correctly. So this is still someone that you would want to check off in the snake. The other thing too is if they try to come out to the starfish to play the wrap, then you have that outside shot as well. So you have a good way of slowing this snake down, because the snake is a big threat. That's where a lot of your attack is going to come from, and then your Dorito can help clean it up later. When the Dorito switches this way, they really can't help. They have to move out to a different spot. So whether that be, I want to say that when we came here, we didn't really like it as much. You can shoot into those gaps with the Dorito, so at least there's that. You just have to be careful. You can see the snake there. They just come up and they're going to kind of eat you alive. Yeah, it wasn't there. You just want to see, like, how is it that you can best help. But because you're blocked out, it might be coming up into here, and at least you can shoot into those gaps to be able to slow down that Dorito attack. You just have to be careful on the move up. If you can get all the way up to here, we really didn't play this a whole lot. I wasn't a huge fan of the middle attack, but at least this way you can shoot into those gaps. Or what I did one time when I only played I played the back center and then had to fill out Dorito way. If you dive out, this guy is someone that can cross with the other corner. I think I dove out and then came up to here, and I sat back and out a little bit because I had a player right here in front of me shooting the inside, and then I was shooting down the wire. We can't stop the inside move. We can't stop a whole lot of it, but at least we can keep pressure. And if you have it where I wish I could tell you exactly how far back I was, but I was in a zone probably about here that I was safe from any cross shots, anyone from the snake side, and I was just sitting out a little bit in the open to shoot down the wire. So it's just something that you can consider. And then because I had someone inside, we can kind of protect each other that way. What was it this way? Yeah, I remember it being that our Dorito side, they had a hard time from this snake corner, actually. So if you were to go over here, this wouldn't be a bad spot, because this is someone that can cause a lot of issues because of these gaps here. They can shoot through here, they can shoot through here. So even though it's a far shot, this guy was giving our Dorito guys a lot of problems. What was the other? There was another bounce that was over here. Let me go over to it if I can remember specifically. It was right. I want to say it was right here. If you bounce off this tower, it will go over into the other tower. The other one, I had it where it was on accident, actually, and I want to say it was from someone in the back center. They bounced it off this tower, and it like came into me. Like I don't know what it was, but it bounced off and bounced into me in the back center. So be mindful of bounces, but just kind of, I guess, watch the paint and see. The other one was this one. So I'll have to go up again. So from the can, shooting. Now you have to know that they have an alternate route that they can take, but if you shoot here, it does kind of skip over this way. So it can make an issue where it kind of like bounces and goes in. So from the can shooting, you bounce it off here and it goes into this zone. But the thing is they can take the outside and go up, and they'll be able to get past it. But if you're looking that way, the big thing is that you see the move, and then you're able to go and capitalize on, okay, I saw the move, you switch this back center takes over there, then you can either go heads up, or if you needed to do something else. Something I will say is this snake, you need to have a 2-man operation or no one else in the snake. It's just kind of how it was. We actually had it where the best situation is that you have 3 in the snake. So you can have someone come out here, the third guy, to shoot the Dorito away, and then the other 2 are going down the snake. But you see how you can't really see much down the wire on the inside. So getting sneaky through here was a huge get, because you could take the inside route up, and then even if someone was right here, if you came around, they have to be wrapping to see you in this zone. But if no one was shooting that gap, and let's say that there was someone here, you could actually crawl across, take their spot here, and then just pop around and bunker them, and then go and finish it out. So there's a lot of creativity on this snake side. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I know it's not super detailed for the breakdown, but I want to make sure I got something out for you guys. Yeah, definitely a good layout. I really liked the snake side when I was playing it. Only got to play the middle and the Dorito side a little bit. The team kind of put me more snake, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, so good luck for those that are playing, whether it be Dover or an event that's using this layout. And I'll see you guys next week.